Today, I want to remind you to one, be compassionate, and two, that the Lord will provide for you. I love nature, and sometimes I will come out here for a walk. Um, it's in walking distance from my home, so I come out here, look at the flowers, the trees, and just the landscape of nature. And today, I came out here, and this pond right here, it has no water, like absolutely no water. And that pond was filled with water recently. I don't know what has dried up in your life or what you feel is drying up in your life, whether it's your courage, whether it's your finances, your health, whatever might be decreasing or depleting in your life. Today, I want to speak life into you and to remind you that the Lord is a keeper of his word, and that if you will trust him, if you will rely on him, if you will depend on him, he will prove to you that he is a father who makes children and does not abandon them. There's a story in the Bible, in First Kings, the book of First Kings, the story of Ahab and Jezebel and prophet Elijah. Now, in that story, and you can read it to get the details of it, I'm just going to give you the overview of God's provision. In that story, the children of Israel, God's people, which today will be the church, they were worshiping Baal. They were worshiping a false god, and that's idolatry. And you know that God is jealous. Like, he loves us so much. He wants us for himself because he knows that himself is good for us. And they were worshiping Baal and give the praises to him for the rain that was falling and for the crops that were growing. And so the judgment in which the Lord brought upon the children of Israel, and where they were location-wise, was no rain. Prophet Elijah came and he prophesied, and he said that there will be no rain for a few years. And when King Ahab, now we're talking about the government, and I'm trying to show you what it will be like today. So when Prophet Elijah declared the word of the Lord, the prophecy stating that there will be no rain, King Ahab got upset, and Queen Jezebel got upset, and they wanted him dead. She really wanted him dead. He was doing God's work. He was doing the Lord's work, and he had to run for his life because these people were in government. He was a king. King Ahab was a king. And that means they would have people who can go out and do their work for them, whether it's to take someone's life or whatever it is. They had soldiers, they had status, they were in command, they had people working under them. And this one man, Elijah, did what God allowed him to do to, correct his people. It was for a reason, to bring them back to the realization of who the one true God is and who actually controls the rain. So Elijah had to escape. He had to run for his life. And God instructed him to go by the brook. And by the brook is where water would be. Water is present. And Elijah stayed there. And the Lord allowed ravens to bring bread and meat twice a day for Elijah. And he was able to get water, drink water from the brook. But the brook dried up. The brook dried up. The thing that once gave life, the thing that once was a resource for what you need, what the people in that area needed, dried up. I don't know what is drying up for you. I don't know in your life where you feel like it's drying up, it's decreasing, and you're watching it dry up, and you're becoming worried, you're becoming anxious. and you're trying to make it work for you on your own. And sometimes you feel so tired and exhausted and frustrated. But I'm here to remind you that if you would only put your trust in the Lord, and I know it's easier said than done, especially when you're in the situation, you're the one facing it. But I'm telling you that I was there. There was a time in my life where I felt like my strength was depleting. I had no courage, I had no fight. But I remember laying on the floor of my living room and I began to repeat Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. And I repeated that verse for about 50 times, no kidding, for about 50 times. And I said it until my entire being believed it. And let me tell you, when I got up, I felt like I could have lifted a house. I felt empowered. I felt strong. I felt life. And so I want to remind you that in the Word of God is life and it's power. It carries creativity and it carries life in it. Those are not just black words on white pages. It carries life. And so I would encourage you to read the Word over your situation, over your life. And if you have to repeat it 50 times so that your entire being can believe it, read it 50 times. But I want to encourage you today that even though there might be some things in your life that seems to be drying up, that the Lord will provide for you. Because after Elijah ran to the brook, he got water. God sent a raven, a bird, to feed him twice per day, meat and bread. After the brook dried up, the Lord directed Elijah to go to a widow where she would now cook for him and make sure that he's taken care of with his meals. So if the Lord have to create situations so that you can be fed, if he has to send a bird, and I'm not even kidding, if he has to send a bird with the money that you need, with the food that you need, if he has to send a total stranger, direct you to, so drive down to DC and make a left on 6th Street and turn here and you will see a White House. You go and ring the doorbell and say, the Lord sent me. The Lord is going to do whatever he has to do to meet your needs. But I want to encourage you that you have to have total dependency on him. You have to trust him, because you trying to make it work for yourself, it's frustrating you. And you're in a cycle, and every day you feel tired without accomplishing anything. You feel like you're working so hard and you're not making the ends meet. God is able to make the ends meet because he does not make babies and abandon them. He takes care of his children. And so I want to encourage you to depend on him. And I promise you, once you believe that he can, he will. And I want to remind you that you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. I also want to share with you today, I want to speak to you today, encouraging you to be compassionate. It's very easy to speak about a situation or to give your opinion about a person or what someone might be experiencing, if you have never experienced or walked in their shoes before. God is compassionate. He does not allow sunlight to only shine on believers. He does not allow the wind to only blow on those who accepted Jesus as their Lord and Savior. But he knows that every human being needs vitamin D, and the sunlight is one source of vitamin D. So he allows it to shine on those who believe him and those who does not believe him. He allows the wind to blow on those who love him and those who hate him. Because for some people, they're going to need the wind to dry their laundry, depending on which part of the world they're located. And some people will need the wind to cool them down, depending on what the weather is. He is compassionate to all people. And so I want to encourage you today to be compassionate. You may not experience what someone has experienced, but before you speak, think, what if this was me? How would I like to be treated? How would I like to be talked about? How would I like people to view what I'm experiencing? So before you speak on a matter, I want to encourage you to show compassion. There's a story in the book of Exodus, and you can read the whole book of Exodus and you'll get it, where the children of Israel, after the Lord delivered them from Egypt, from slavery, they went into the wilderness, and here it is, provision again. And the Lord began to rain food down, manna. He began to rain food down for his children. What did I tell you about him being able, about the Lord providing for his children? He rained food down for his children. But they were instructed to pick up for today, only for today. They were instructed to pick up, to gather enough food for 2 days on Friday, so that on Saturday, when it's a Sabbath, they can rest, they can be intimate with the Lord. They don't have to worry about anything and just worship him through rest, But on Friday, they were instructed to pick up for 2 days, Friday and Saturday. And other days, they were instructed to pick up just for today. But sometimes they did not. And every time they picked up for more than the day, from Sunday all the way to Thursday, every time they picked up for more than the day, it will go bad. What they didn't need, the amount they pick up for the next day, it will go bad. It will rot. Worms will take it over. The Lord was teaching them dependency, how to depend on him, how to trust him, how to believe him. But it's easy for you to, or for us to read that and say, the audacity of these people, for him to take them out of Egypt, out of slavery, and to bring them into the wilderness where food is free. You don't have to pay taxes for it, and it's falling. And the only instruction is just pick up for today. The audacity of these people to pick up more than they should. I can see how some people can have that mindset and think that way about the children of Israel. But have you ever been in slavery before? Have you ever been in slavery before where you have absolutely no control of your meals, when you eat, how much you eat, what you eat? Have you? And so for the first time, they experience freedom with food. For the first time. And so I can understand their mentality because their minds were not transformed as yet. They still had a slavery mentality. They were still being transformed in their minds and understanding how much the love of God is being poured out in the very provision of the manna, because love always provides. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, John 3:16. Love provides. And because the Lord loves you, he is going to provide for you. Because the Lord loves you, he is going to restore the things that have been depleted. He is going to restore the things that have dried up in your life. But you have got to, 1, follow the instructions, and 2, total dependency on him. Elijah had total dependency on him. And the children of Israel had to learn how to be disciplined and follow instructions. At the same time, I understand how their mindset were, because remember I stated earlier, they did not have control over how much they eat and when they eat. Have you ever had an experience where you had more than enough? You had an excess, whether it's money or food or clothing or vacation days at work, like you had it in excess. There is so much joy and freedom, and don't know what to do with yourself. When we as humans find our place in more than enough, and I mean way more than enough, because manna was fallen from heaven. Can you imagine money? And you've never come across this amount of money before. I mean, stacks of it by the 10,000s falling from heaven, or you're in your house and your ceiling began to rain money. Can you imagine? Come on. And then God say to you, only pick up how much you're going to need for 2026, for the rest of 2026. So you're gonna pick up just for 2026. How many of us will pick up for 2026 only? Now, you and I would only know what we would do. We would like to think that we will only pick up for 2026, only what we will need. We'll just have to calculate our bills. How much am I going to need for utilities, for the mortgage, for the car note, for the school fees for the kids, for groceries, maybe a vacation before the year ends and I'm gonna have the family over for Thanksgiving, so let me put that into, and all of a sudden, let me not say all of us, a lot of us, most of us, we will end up putting things on our to-do list that we've never thought about. All of a sudden, we're gonna need a plane to do missions in Timbuktu in 2026, so that we can add a few extra stack. Now, do you get the picture of the children of Israel living in lack for 400 years in slavery, and now they're in the wilderness where food is raining, and they're told to pick up just for today? Do you understand a little bit more why? So I'm sharing this with you to say, sometimes it's easy to give your opinion on a person's situation, but you truly do not understand unless you walk the path. You truly do not understand unless you walk the path. So I want to remind you to be compassionate. Show compassion. Show compassion. The Lord loves you, and He is going to take care of you because He's your Father. But you have to let Him father you. You have to let Him father you. He's going to restore the things that are drying up. He wants to restore the things that dried up. And not just restore to what it was. He's a God of progression. He wants to outdo Himself. Jehovah overdo. He likes to overdo Himself because He is God. Allow Him to father you. Allow Him to father you. And so today I pray for your heart, for your soul, for your emotions, for your mind, for your thought process, for your belief. Today I pray that the Lord will touch the inside parts of you that man's eyes cannot see, and that He will bring healing, that He will bring hope, that He will restore your hope, that He will give you strength, that He will place men and women of integrity in your life, that He will place coaches and mentors and friends and family around you that will encourage you and hold you up, so that you can be reminded that you're not alone, because we were created for community. We were not created to do life by ourselves on our own. So I pray that the Lord will strengthen your heart. I pray that the Lord will give you a new view of who you are, and that you will come to a place where you understand better who He is to you. The Lord is for you. He is for you. He is not against you. He's for you, and He loves you dearly. And sometimes, because of the challenges, the things you experience, the lack, the anxiety, sometimes you may ask yourself, where is God in all of this? I want to remind you, I want to tell you from experience that He is right there. And sometimes it's difficult to see His hands while you're going through the thing. But after you've gone through and you've got your testimony, and you look back and you'll be like, oh my goodness, I could not have brought myself out of that. The Lord is with you because He is for you. He is for you. No matter what you're experiencing, what you have done to push Him away, He is for you, and He deeply cares about you. He wants to restore you back to wholeness. He wants to restore you back to healing, to being a healed person in your heart, in your emotions, in your mind, the way you think. He wants you to live a healthy, healed, and whole life. Give Him a try again. Try Him again. And take it one day at a time. And if you have to take it 1 hour at a time some days, do it. Do it. And He will show you that He is a Father who will never fail you. Ever fail you. You are as precious to Him as Jesus is. The love God the Father, Yahweh, the love He has for Jesus is the same amount of love He has for you. And sometimes that might be difficult to measure, but measure it with the cross. Let the cross be the measurement that God the Father loved you so much that He's willing to give up His child, to allow His child to be beaten, to be abused, to be cursed at, and then to be nailed on a cross. He allowed His child to go through all of that because He loves you. So if you want to measure how much He loves you and how much you are worth to Him, the cross is the measurement. That's the extent He will go to make sure you're provided for, because Jesus going on the cross was provision for you and me. So you are loved, you are enough, you are needed, you're valuable, you're essential. You're valuable to the Lord, and you are on His mind. You are on His mind. God bless you, and I love you. He will restore you. He is restoring you. Just depend on Him, and you'll see that He cannot fail. He will not fail you. The things that you've experienced before where it seemed as if He failed you, He didn't fail you. He didn't fail you. There was a reason. Whether the reason was Him protecting you from something, or just life happening and causing you to be disappointed, He didn't do it. He allowed it because He didn't stop it. But I usually remind myself that when I'm going through a rough challenge situation, there's a reason He's allowing it. Because only when resistance comes and we push back, then we're able to build muscles. When you go in the gym, you're taking on an amount of weight that you're not accustomed to. And if you stay at it, after a while, it becomes easier and easier, because now you would have built enough muscle, enough strength to lift heavier and heavier and heavier weight. So what you're experiencing right now, allow the Lord to use it to build your muscles so that you can lift a heavier weight. God bless you. All right. Until next time, take care.